G'day humans, Chris Stead from Finder here, talking NFT games, and if you've just landed on this video out of the cold, then know that it's part 2 of a series of videos that I'm doing involving an interview between myself and the CEO of Gallant Studios, Stephen Walters, and the artist that works on the Gnarly Knights and all the games, Samantha Rivera. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out part 1 where I give you a bit of an indication of what the studio is all about, my first impressions when I came across it, and also we start our conversation with Stephen. He takes us through his thoughts about his studio, where they want to go, who they want to be, and what they're all about. So make sure you check out that first. But in this particular video, we're going to talk about King's Calling. Now, this is one of 3 games, 3 bigger games, much bigger than their first game, Gallant Warriors, that they are working on through 2022. Now, there's the Gallant Arena and there's the MMORPG, which we'll cover and talk about in the 3rd video in this series. But today's about King's Calling, which is one we've seen the most about. Now, if you stick around and watch this, you're going to find some gameplay footage that you may not have seen before. I've got a fair bit of it to show you. So let's not wait any longer. Let's jump in and talk to Steve Walters, CEO of Gallant Studios, about his upcoming game, King's Calling. So I'd really like to talk a bit about King's Calling. Obviously, developing it in Unity, which is a great engine. I saw a little bit of footage on your AMA, and it looked really quite gorgeous. What can you tell us about this world and the gameplay that we're going to be enjoying inside it?
Sorry, I just pulled up Unity here, and as it's loading up.
It's really looking good, if I may add, Chris. Our King's Calling, it's like a baby. You know, we've watched it grow. I'm not sure which AMA you saw, but depending which one you saw, it's possible that you may have seen like the newest footage, or like the first models. But it's evolved a whole lot, and it's looking really, really good. I can't wait for Stephen to show you.
I'll get my screen share session started here with you. So to give you a little bit, Chris, the idea was born between Sammy and yeah, Sammy, you want to tell him while I get this?
Sure. Okay. So, just to give a little bit more background, when we started our blockchain gaming journey, we had the intent to focus on our MMORPG because that's like our main course. And we knew that it was going to be a large undertaking, and we knew that it was going to take quite a bit of time. And at that point, that's when we decided, okay, well, let's not make our community wait that long for something. Let's give them something now. And that's actually how we started with Gallant Warriors, King's Calling, and Gallant Arena. Those ideas were really meant to be appetizers for our MMO. But as I've said a moment ago, King's Calling has really evolved into something that could rival our main course, because it's grown very big. But so again, originally we wanted to do a 2-dimensional game, short game. A knight is called. That's why it's called King's Calling. He's called by the king to make it back in time because they're under attack, and there's a message that he wants to deliver to him. And so it's really his journey through this world, in trying to get back to the king, to receive this message. And Stephen, he's a visionary in and of himself, and so he's thought of other ways to make this even more impressive. And so he decided, you know what, I don't want this to be a 2D game. I want this to be a 3D game in Unity. And and so this vision is really his own. And the players will get to explore this open world, take different quests. There's going to be some Easter eggs in it. He really wanted to make it more fun and more involved. Bigger than what the original intent was.
Okay. So are we looking at something that's an RPG, or is it a first person experience? Have you got that far with the game players yet?
It's going to be third person. I've come to that decision based on just market research, and the desire that personally, I don't mind first person shooters. Like I like first person shooters, but playing a few different style games, it really changed my life seeing from a third person perspective. If you have the ability to switch to first person when you want to, that's okay. But third person allows you to see your character. When you do your upgrades and you get that bad sword, or that new shield or that cloak or something, you like to see that. You know, when Forza came out with the ability to take screenshots of your car, I mean, I was taking screenshots of my car. But I'm just going to take you through some of the latest updates. There's been more grass. There's been more trees. A little bit more development in the path regarding the scenarios here. So, um, is this what you were referring to that you saw, Chris?
The footage I saw was actually kind of walking through some like medieval streets.
Okay, yeah. So
Um,
you saw the old. This is all new. Um, the water is not turned on, but the water is moving. It has realistic engine built into that now. This is the medieval village for the people, and shortly after we cross over here, going a little fast, sorry. Um, we'll cross over here and we'll go up to the castle. There's still a lot of work to be done over here in terms of props and filling in the areas of space. Um, you can see there's been some mountains added. This is all the mountain range, and the coniferous trees and stuff is all what's just now been developed over the last 48 hours with Mark. Let's see.
and so this is an open world environment that players will be moving through.
Yes, sir. All right. So I'm just gonna pan up. Um, so outside of this village, we then go over into the castle area. Um, give you just some short visuals, quick visuals here on some of the castle aesthetics. One of the big things that I love about this castle and the environment here is that there's multiple quadrants built into it, so that you're not just running around in a square. The entire castle walls, there's multi levels to them. So as you see here, I'm going up a level. I'm just gonna go quick there. So there's an entire, as you see, like that's going up to another nest. And you come over here. Uh, we'll just go straight up. We're in God mode right now, Chris.
Yep.
So this is just one of the level. As you can see, it still goes up higher. But this is just a view from up top. And then as you go on up higher, you have the ability. This is where you can, put the archers and cannons and things of that nature. Um, so this is a top view. I'm got that. That's in the back for scale, to show scale size. But this is what's coming together. Some of these trees are going to be taken out. Like I said, I was meeting with Mark last night and gave him some more suggestions. So one of the other things that's new is in the mountains over here. There's a live running stream, like a waterfall that's coming out of the mountain, that feeds this pool. I'm gonna just pan up real quick. There's more forest. So there's a Viking village going to live on the opposite side of this map. Um, so we want to pay homage to the Vikings, which are very strong in in regards to the medieval era and those times. So there'll be a Viking village on the opposite side, but this is a live running stream. Because I'm not zoomed in, you can't see it running. But yeah, it's coming together. There's I'll show you just a little piece of some more realistic assets that's been added in terms of giving it a good feel. So we'll zoom in.
So in terms of the player experience, would you compare it to anything that's out there at the moment? Is it more on the Assassin's Creed side of things, or more on like an Elder Scrolls side of things, or
I would
how would you
say
describe it?
it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you, because I'm an Assassin's Creed guy. Like I love Assassin's Creed. Valhalla is a fun game. I love the aesthetics of it. The the interaction with the player, the abilities of the player, the little fun things you can do on the side of the game, the free roam of the map, and that's another reason why we went with a big map size. You don't want people to get bored. You want to keep people engaged. You want to give them things to do, and so that's one of the reasons why we went this route with a bigger map. So I would say that an experience comparable to Elder with a twist of Assassin's Creed. And this is raw over here. Okay, so what you're about to see here is nowhere near what it's going to be. It's going through its phases right now. So just wanted you to see some of what's happening on the mountain side of things. There's still some different layers of textures that's got to go here, from the leaves to the grass to the pine needles, and various aspects like that. But that's a synopsis on King's Calling. Now, I mentioned to you before Anaris. If you want to see it, I'll show it to you real quick.
Yeah, sure. I'll just before we just move off King's Calling, obviously the world's looking like it's coming along really, really well. You spoke about it being kind of somewhere between Elder Scrolls and Assassin's Creed, but in terms of the kind of moment-to-moment gameplay, are we talking of the Assassin's Creed side? You've got the quests, you've got parkour, you've got combat. Whereas, say, an Elder Scrolls is more about building up your character, interacting with other NPCs, conversations, that kind of thing. So, the moment to moment, is there any insights you can give me at this point, or?
Certainly. So to without going into too much detail, I'd like to say that quests is primary, right? Because I think people like having things to do, having an objective. What's my objectives for the day? What's my daily tasks? Okay. And then on top of that, when you mentioned the NPCs from the Elder Scrolls side, that's another one of my things. And I'm not building this game for me, but it's in regards to doing a little bit of research. People like to engage. People like to have things to do on one side where you have your quests, right? And then as the Elder Scrolls side for your NPCs, conversing, you know, going talking to the NPC over in the Viking village that's going to give you this tool that you're going to need to come over here to complete this task. So it's kind of a merging of the two.
Right. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing it come along.
Yeah, me too. Where I'm actively engaging. There's a couple things that we've got on the list to get done. But I'm not going to say this is not an Assassin's Creed killer. Steven is not saying that we're going to beat Elder Scrolls or Assassin's Creed or anything like that. We definitely want to create something that's fun, visual, entertaining, and rewarding for the people. So as I spin this
If,
one up.
if I could add, Chris, we've done some research. Like um we've heard the calls of crypto gaming having more of a focus on crypto than gaming, and so the game's falling short, and so we have an awareness of that, and we do not want to do that. We definitely are making sure that as we develop these games that it's fun for gamers, and it's one of the beautiful things about the community that we have, because they're all gamers, and they're very, I don't want to say strong-minded, but they're very vocal, and they love sharing their opinions. And so I think us having an awareness, that crypto gaming has not like quite gotten it right yet, and also having a community as an asset, um, to help us inform certain decisions is really going to help us create games that are impactful and special.
Yeah, it's certainly a big genre to jump into,
A
which
very
is
diverse
exciting.
genre too.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting. I mean, what's your roadmap for a hopeful release?
I would like to see something beta by end of March, beginning of April for King's Calling.
Wow.
Um, it's like I say, there's still a good bit of work to be done. But if a couple things can line up, if the solar system aligns in a good way, we can get the support that we need and the resources we need from skills from the skill side to begin working on the props things and some of the programming side for the blockchain integration. That's what we're lacking there. But I'd like to see something beta for an exclusive group of people to jump in and get the bugs worked out, bring on some feedback, so that we can grow it and potentially have something for Q3 and an alpha if not ready to play.
So there you go, guys. There's some information about King's Calling. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I think it's looking a lot bigger and better than what we saw with Gallant Warriors, but also it's definitely aspiring to be a lot more than what we're seeing in a lot of the early NFT games. This is a full 3D RPG here, which is exciting, right? I'm excited. There's a sick genre, it's cool. Anyway, that's part 2. Make sure you check out part 3, which is coming up, and that's going to be looking at the MMORPG and Gallant Arena. And so until next time, happy gaming, check the bell, hit the subscribe, see you later, no worries.